I'm very highly educated.
Obama.
Welcome to Pod 91. My name is Gus Bus, and I am here accompanied by Rafael and Marco. Today on Pod 91, we talk movies. We're going to talk about Marvel and the DC. Which one's doing it right and which one needs to do better. Also, school is just around the corner, and we have some tips and experiences we would like to share. So starting off with the movies, who's doing it right?
So far, I
So
gotta
far.
say Marvel,
Why?
because they established the whole cinematic universe, and while DC's barely coming into their own.
Because Marvels have done it extensively and DC's just starting.
Marvel's doing it right for sure, but don't you feel like maybe they've gone used to their formula and like do you feel something new from them, or do you kind of feel like every movie is
the
almost kind of the same
It's
same formula? We're gonna give you an origin story,
something
gonna-
funny.
something funny. The humor, yeah, of course you can tell there's more humor in the Marvel movies, but does it get old to you? Do you feel like you're kind of like just
At times it does. Like, it seems repetitive, you know? Like, there's nothing different in the movies. Usually, even their movies are dark. You can see they're supposed to be dark. Like Captain America, you see, like, the little humor there and all that. Where's, like, the seriousness in them, you know?
because for example, in the comic books, let's compare Civil War. In the Civil War comic books, not only does Captain America get killed, but then the whole reason for the Civil War happening was because a school of children got blown up,
The whole city got
or
blown
a
up
whole
pretty
city
much.
pretty much. But one of the biggest
Yeah.
things was the death of all those children
Yeah.
in school. So those were some kind of like dark.
Yeah, the Civil
reasons.
War comic books is dark. It's very dark.
So can you that darkness, that seriousness, and then we can talk about Wolverine's story of him trying to track down Nitro, who was the one that exploded and killed all these pretty much innocent lives.
Yep.
Now you compare that origin story of Civil War to the one
The cinematic
that we had in the
universe.
cinematic universe. I'm not saying the one in the cinematic universe was wrong because
It wasn't bad, but it was nothing compared to the comics.
Right,
the
and then-
comics was 100 times better.
I feel like it just has to do with their target demographic. You know,
It's
trying to hit that family
That,
oriented
well,
people
it's
to
not
take
just
their
that.
kids.
It's also the character aspect that they only have a certain amount of characters because in the comics, you know, you work with everybody.
Yeah.
And while
And like you said yourself, Wolverine was in it.
yeah, and so were the Fantastic Four, you know, Clone Dagger, everybody, you know, all those individuals
Yep.
were in it.
But in reality, you know, we had to talk about it's all down to business. Money talks. They couldn't get all of them, so they
Yeah.
just work what they have.
Well,
and,
that's-
and I'm not saying it's not about the because obviously you can't compare the number of characters in the movies to the thing. I'm talking about
No,
the
you just
actual
feel the emotions
threat.
because, like, even when Captain America and Iron Man were dividing, you see, like, families dividing, like, the Fantastic Four, like Reed Richards and Susan Storm, you know, they're breaking up because of the whole conflict.
Yeah.
Like, you see friends dying, like, when...
And I think that was the thing is the like you said, the friends dying. You know, it's
yeah, when...
you had Quicksilver obviously die in the movies.
Because in the movie, you really don't feel the seriousness of the situation. You know what I mean?
That's the
Yeah.
thing is like I felt the death. All right, he was killed and everything, but at the end of the day, like I don't feel the threat, like you said. I don't feel the dangers
Like the
that
emotion.
they're actually in.
Yeah.
You know, even though a whole city like is in like Avengers: Age of Ultron, the whole city is pretty much being
lifted.
lifted. I'm sorry, I was losing my thought. Being lifted, like I don't sense the danger. Like you know everything's gonna
Well,
be okay.
let's just go back to the first Avengers movie. Like, it's pretty much a war in New York. Where is the collateral damage? You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
Like,
And just before,
You saw more danger and damage in the first scene of
Yeah.
Batman or Superman.
Yeah.
and before I
which I would expect it should be. Because if you see the Hulk fighting, he ain't going to just, like, destroy only the things in the street, like the little cars. He's going to be running through buildings like he did.
Oops,
running through
like,
the buildings.
Excuse me.
That was one of the things that I was against, but then I was kind of happy that was touched upon on Civil War. If you watch Avengers and you see the New York scene where like it's being destroyed and everything, if you ever pay attention to the people and the civilians, like you honestly never see one get hurt. You in your mind you assume that civilians are being hurt and being killed, but you never get the seriousness of the scene of the battleground because you never see like civilians on the ground. You know, like that,
Yeah.
like the actual
visual,
fatalities. Like
yeah.
I feel like that goes a long way because you're like, damn, like that's tough. But you never see it, and you always see civilians just being rescued from hostage situations. Now I get it; it's Disney and it's
That's the thing,
Marvel
it's
and,
Disney.
and all that.
Well, no,
but-
Marvel has their things, but it's Disney.
Well, okay,
That's
we can
the-
say Disney's the biggest influence in this, but
Yeah.
I honestly feel like Marvel has no problem killing off characters. They have no problem
No.
killing off bad guys. But when it comes to the civilians, the actual common people, for some reason, that's totally off
Well,
limits.
like, for me, the only one that actually died, people died, was in Civil War when the Scarlet Witch picked up crossbones and he blew up.
Right.
Mhm.
That's pretty much the only time you felt something actually happen.
Because it was the actual focus of the situation. In New York, even it's like the focus isn't so much on the people dying, it's so much on these aliens coming down from a
Yeah.
portal in the Avengers Triangle. So for me, I think it would have been much more
But
realistic.
wouldn't these heroes get more motivated by seeing a fallen person, like innocent? You know what I mean?
But they didn't.
That's the thing.
In New
Where's the
York, they didn't.
motive? Like, what's his name? The guy from Shield that got killed by Loki.
Nick Fury?
No, the one that supposed to get killed by.
Oh,
Loki. I forgot his name.
I don't even know what his name is.
The
But
Shield
I know who
agent.
you're talking, yeah, the
Yeah.
Shield agent. I know who you're talking
Yeah, you know how that inspired him and all that, and it finds out he's not dead. So he has his own little.
Yeah.
He has a little show, Agents of
Agents of
Shield.
S.H.I.E.L.D.
Like,
or ABC.
yeah, so he never died. I'm like, okay. Nick Fury and Winter Soldier, he doesn't die.
So they die in the movies and then they get their own show. outside of
Exactly.
movies.
So and before I'm corrected by in the comment section, I know I said Quicksilver died in Civil War. That's a mistake. He dies in Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron.
But I think in the end of the day, it's like in the Civil War movie, no one died, and in
Yeah.
the comic books, we know who died.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, Age of Ultron, we
A-
lost.
in Age of Ultron, pretty much Ultra's wiping out all the superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So there's more seriousness in the comic books now.
And
Bringing-
even like Ultron in general, where's the seriousness of Ultron? Like in the comics, you can see it. He's
he was like
how
like-
friendly he's in the movie. Like seriously, he feels bad by ripping somebody's arm off. Like the Ultron in the comics didn't give no, you know what?
didn't give a rat's ass in a sense.
No,
Just he was,
he was there to eliminate and exterminate.
Mhm.
and this one was still kind of like with
Emotionally,
Scarlet
oh
Witch
my-
had like a little emotional, like
Yeah,
you know, like felt sorry for her for what she had gone.
yeah. Oh, he visioned everything, and now he feels against humans. You
Think
know,
Disney
he's
did them
a
up?
flawed.
Hey,
and all.
that's when you get Disney pampered.
All right, man. This guy's supposed to be cold, and he's supposed to be a robot. They wants to get revenge.
So for me, Marvel was doing it right. I think they're still successful. They're always gonna be
I
successful.
think they're striking out on their
The big-
villains.
The biggest thing I think Marvel succeeded was to bring
Yeah.
unknown characters to the mass,
To the big screen, yeah.
to the consumer, like people that
Yeah,
and I understand why they do origin stories so that people know where these characters kind of came from, because some origin stories are different than the actual, but you know, I think they're doing that good. But in the sense that like the seriousness and I feel the actual threat of the situation, I never do.
no.
I never feel like New York was really in that much danger. I never felt like Sokovia, I guess, you know, in the
Yeah.
movies was in danger. Just I don't know. It's just I don't want to say I want to see death, but I just
Well,
feel
you
like
kind of do want to see like
I feel like
a
yeah,
reality
that's,
aspect
That's
too.
how you pretty much get this feeling of oh wow, like
I
this is-
know there's superheroes and everything, but there is things that will really happen in those
You
kind
know.
of situations.
So in Civil War, I was kind of happy when they showed like the video files and they showed the New York where like Hulk is like jumping from building to building, like all the rubble's falling on people. Like that was cool. That was a good way
yeah,
to
but
like
they're
make
just
them seem-
rubble, you know.
or like you know, but
But like when
But
that big old monster fell on top of a building, I'm pretty sure it would have knocked down that building,
I'm pretty
right?
sure it fucked up a lot of people.
There's a lot of movies like that. I don't know. Maybe it's just 'cause nowadays, but like in Fast and the Furious, you know, not to bring other ones, but you see buildings and people crashing. Then no one
Yeah.
dies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even the main people fucking never die. You saw Toretto break through that building and
That was kind of
he got up
retarded.
and
yeah.
walked away.
Yeah, dude. No, the Fast and the Furious.
I
let's
tried that
just to
last
bring
time,
Fast and
nothing
Furious
happened.
really quick. That's it. That franchise should die. It's over. It's over.
You extended it too much.
They extended
Oh.
way too much.
The last one was your typical good
Like,
guy goes bad, but then he goes
goes good.
he was
again.
good the whole time.
Yeah.
You know.
Which was kind of obvious. That's exactly what he was gonna do. You don't even have to watch the movie. You know it was gonna happen.
Kind of feels like the next one they're gonna join the Avengers.
Exactly
It's just
right.
part of the-
Cinematic universe right there.
No, but back to the topic.
But all right, so that's Marvel.
No, well, let's put it this. Also, like the villains. I think Marvel's been striking out when it comes to their villains, which
Mhm.
is a little concerning when your Thanos is coming. Like how they're gonna portray him.
right.
Because tell me that good of a villain that Marvel's actually had.
They're all kind of forgettable. Not forgettable,
Maybe
but they're not
Loki is the only
memorable.
one that's been consistent.
If you think about it, Loki's the only one that survived more than a movie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Age
And
of
that's
Ultron's
because it-
gone.
And that's because they were gonna use him in Infinity
Uh-huh.
War. That's the only reason he survived.
What's
And
his-
because he was going out with Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
shoot. Hey, but Loki brings all universes because he's bringing in Godzilla and Kong. So
Yeah.
he's
All
a, he's, a,
right.
he's a multiverse everything. He's in everything.
He's a true god.
He's
No,
Loki.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, when it comes to connecting the films, Marvel's probably done it best.
And how many fake deaths has Loki had?
Exactly.
Two. He's always just like, you don't even know he's dead. Like,
I would have thought you would have figured it out. He's the master of tricks.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? But like
he's
I
had,
said,
he's had more fake outs than Nick Fury.
exactly. And Nick Fury's supposed to be the secret guy, right?
So, but
No, but like, in truth, Marvel has put all the films together perfectly.
that was
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
created this concept, or maybe they weren't the original,
No,
but
but
they pretty much made it.
yeah.
They showed that it works.
And
Yeah.
the thing about at the end of the day, no matter what, we kind of don't feel the danger, but now we're still gonna see the movie.
Oh, I am.
Yeah, we're
They're
still
still
I can
entertaining,
smack talk it all I want, and I'll be the first. Well, not on premiere because I can't deal with the
but
whole
you're
crowd.
still
But I'm
excited
still
to
gonna
watch
go see it
Yeah,
on
the
a
premiere's
Sunday
pretty
night
fun, dude.
for
I went
$5.
to the Avengers premiere. It was pretty cool.
You know, I'm not saying
Even though some people showed up with Justice League uniforms on, but it was cool. All
It's
of
like
them was
for
fun.
in-
Were
like-
they haters or just they didn't know?
No, they were just there.
like in
Ladies
my
and
opinion,
gentlemen.
Marvel, I like it. Honestly, I do. If I had to choose favorite movies, I think Doctor Strange is one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a
Honestly,
great
for
movie.
sure. I was skeptical at first when I would see the trailers and like the whole city's like moving around, and I'm
Uh-huh.
like, this is just gonna be one of those kind of movies. But no, I gave it a shot. I watched it and I was like, dang. And to be honest, I feel like Doctor Strange was kind of one of those actual dark. I mean, it straight up starts with some guy getting decapitated or pretty much getting killed.
Yeah.
You don't see it, but at least you get you see
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
the,
Well,
the
you see
shadow.
Yeah.
And that's like, all right, dude. Like, I'm not saying show me someone getting stabbed. Literally, just show me
That car crash.
an actual or the car crash scene where
yeah.
you know they reverse and you see that
Mhm.
person on the ground going. I'm like, dude, like that's
Yep.
danger. That's
That's
what I want to
danger.
see. So Doctor Strange honestly was a good movie for
Yeah.
me. And let's bring it to the other side though.
What's-
DC,
What's the other side though?
the DC extended universe.
It's still young. And
See,
kicking.
this hurts me because I'm a more of a DC fan than Marvel. And as much as I would like DC to, be like up in par with Marvel,
Yeah.
honestly, it's not.
Just
And
like
why
that.
is that?
You
Because
question it.
I feel like they got the dark down. Like, they're
Well,
dark.
They're that.
They're not afraid to show
And also, well, they kind of feel like sometimes they are rushing it.
that. I think is the problem.
Nope.
But then also, I believe the critics have a responsibility of that because they're criticizing these movies because they're dark. They
Mhm.
want to see a Marvel version of
See,
DC.
that's not good.
You read the comments of the critics, and that's exactly what they put.
Yeah, I remember seeing the critics were like, "Oh, Batman killed, this
Oh,
and that," and I'm like, "Okay, I get it. Batman doesn't kill in the comics. He doesn't
Like
wanna-
Batman ain't gonna be running around saying language like Captain America. He's gonna
language."
beat the smack out of you.
Did he really just say that?
I know,
No, like,
seriously.
It's not about that. Like
You want
Batman's all about, do you bleed? Like, he straight up
do
tells
you
Superman,
bleed?
"Do you bleed?" And
I'd admit that I love the action scene when they
he's
fight.
like, "You will." I was like, "Oh shit, he's gonna make Superman regret it."
That was a good movie until they got to that.
And then Batman had
Martha
his
point.
his version.
Martha.
And then
Martha.
the bat suit, the equivalent of the Hulkbuster, I want to say. And it was
Yeah.
Martha part, yeah.
Like, I think that kind of like, and Doomsday a little, That's not my Doomsday.
That's not my Doomsday. That's not my
No,
Joker.
but like for me, I don't know if you've seen The Man of Steel.
Uh-huh.
No, but
Like for me personally, I thought that was a good film.
No, and then
But the biggest criticism of it was, oh, Superman killed General Zod.
I feel like
Like, well, if you put him in that situation where he's like, you kill me or that family dies, you gotta pick one.
yeah.
Welcome to reality, guys. It's not a sunshine and flower thing like the Marvel universe.
And then for me, I really liked how Batman vs Superman tied in Man of Steel with the
Yeah.
whole like your perspective on the ground. Like
Yeah, well, Bruce
you
Wayne
see
did.
the fight from the ground through a Bruce's perspective, and it's like you see the people running, you see the destruction. You know, then his friend on the Wayne Tower pretty much just
Yeah.
collapses.
It collapses on him. It
You
pretty
know?
much dies.
mm-hmm.
So I really liked how that was paired up. But I just, like you said, I just didn't like the rush. Like, I get it, but you rushed in Wonder Woman. You rush in Doomsday. Like,
Yeah, well, they could
you
have
rush
done.
in Flash, and then you're ending the last scene with, like, the files of Cyborg and Aquaman.
Well,
and
like the
everything.
file, I don't mind the files. That's fine. But I think Wonder Woman could have taken more of a Hawkeye role, like in Thor.
That's what that's
You know
what
what I
I was
mean?
thinking.
Yeah.
Is I honestly, this is how I would have preferred the trailers in the movie to happen. You know, whether people agree with me or not. When it came to the trailers, I would have preferred if Wonder Woman was never shown. Even Doomsday, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You can show Gal Gadot, like if I'm pronouncing her name right, in the trailer, right? You can show her, and then that would have been cool. It would have been really great, and I would have really enjoyed it if when I was watching the movie, if you just see that scene when Wonder Woman just jumps in front of Superman and Batman with her shield.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been super cool. I'd be like, what the heck is going on? That would have been a cool surprise for the people. Yeah, people knew she was going to play Wonder Woman.
Well, what I would have preferred is instead of Doomsday, Wonder Woman would have been there, been the peacemaker of both of them fighting.
All right, there you go. That's another. I didn't think about that.
Like instead of Doomsday, because the Doomsday they could have saved them from the other man.
Because
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Superman
Doomsday
film?
is not. They made Doomsday look like a little minor character when he's
Yeah.
in real. He's
Yeah.
really actually, on par with Superman. Like, he
Yeah.
kills Superman.
Well,
But
Yeah, it's like the-
technically he doesn't
Okay,
kill him, but
but-
you know what? You get it.
But it's like to say you see it, and a lot of people that don't know the comics, they just see like, oh, it's just some
And then
villain.
in
you know?
in this
Yeah.
movie, you rushed in the Batman Superman fight. You rushed in Wonder Woman, Doomsday, and then you rush in the death of Superman. You rush in so many things
Yeah.
in one movie. It just
It should have just been Batman versus Superman.
it should have just been Batman, like you
Lex
said. All
Luthor.
right, have Wonder Woman come in and break the peace, and maybe if you want to throw in a little minor character, but don't throw in
like
Doomsday. Like
you
Doomsday.
don't show Wonder Woman the whole
Mhm.
film, and then make Bruce Wayne or Batfleck, whatever you want to call him, how to kind of show her the picture. Like, I know who you are, and then she shows later on and
Yeah.
stops them from fighting.
Like, honestly,
They
that
should have
would've been
taken
good.
it. It's like they should have taken their time. That's where it kind of shows that they were rushing
Yeah,
it.
they
wanna
should have.
introduce all these
And I think,
characters.
when we say what is DC doing wrong, is that's what they're doing wrong. Is they're trying to catch up to almost a decade or a decade.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, because 2008 Iron Man, 2018 next year is gonna be a decade of this.
Well,
Marvel
that's the
Cinematic
thing,
Universe.
because I don't know why DC's rushing it, because any film that they come out with their superheroes they got is gonna over trump any Marvel film if they make a good film out of it.
Did you say Trump?
Trump,
Uh-huh.
not that,
The best.
but
Best.
Marvel.
but
is
if they
the
make a
best.
good film where those characters is gonna beat out any Marvel film, no matter what, because the
Mhm.
prestige those characters carry.
But then again, Marvel does have like we said the 10 years, so people are still gonna go.
No,
watch
they're gonna go watch it, but I'm saying it will attract more people. Because Batman and Superman attract way more people than any Marvel film will ever. If they did a good film of it.
Did they though?
No. That's the thing. If they did a good film.
But how do people? Well,
Because the prestige of Batman and Superman bring into any... People wanted a Batman versus Superman film. They waited so long for it. But they got this.
I guess so.
It's like when it comes to with Batman and Superman, you kind of don't even need an origin story. You
Yeah,
just
they-
put 'em on the screen. But when it came to Ant-Man and Guardians
Yeah,
of the
they
Galaxy,
all
you
needed-
needed one because no one knew who
Yeah.
they were.
Like
Yeah.
even Wonder Woman, everybody knows what Wonder Woman
But
is.
I feel like in this point right now, I feel like Marvel's the one pulling up the big numbers.
Yeah,
'cause
right
they're-
now they are.
It's like
Yeah.
a trust. Like I know what I'm gonna get them. I know I'm gonna have
Well,
a good time.
I
I know I'm gonna
understand
see a good
Wonder Woman
movie.
right now is like knocking off Marvel films that and that, but that's just one.
But it's just also
You know what I
like-
mean? That's just
also-
one.
there's
That's
also
like
that-
a whole universe. So
Yeah, there's also that buzz behind every Marvel movie, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
They're like years ahead, but you still talk about them, and then
yeah.
Like
Gus
right
said
now,
But-
last time.
But like I
What
said,
was-
if
what
the
was it,
DC
DC?
took their time and did good films, Marvel wouldn't.
I feel like it's a
Marvel's
trust issue
Marvel
right now.
wouldn't been like, you know, if you would compete like put that, the numbers would have been in favor of DC, Warner Brothers, and that. But they didn't take their time. They
Right.
rushed it,
It's like right now you would think
and now
Just-
and they're feeling the backlash about it. Like now people don't trust their films
you
when
know
they come in.
and one of the reasons why I feel like right now Marvel is still dominant is because if you think about it, you have Justice League and Thor Ragnarok coming out.
Yeah,
Thor Ragnarok still has as much, if not maybe more hype than Justice League. And the Justice League, like you said, has Batman and Superman in it. And honestly, I feel like,
I don't know if Thor has more hype.
oh, it has more hype.
Really?
I think Thor right now is the Marvel movie. Was the only Marvel movie coming out, but I see a lot of people really looking forward to that movie. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
they're not looking forward to Justice League, but like
what
you
I've
said,
heard and I've been reading, the Justice League is the one with the most hype of
I
those.
don't see it
of the
that way.
film.
I may not be keeping up recently, but
Well, I've been keeping up with
I
them. That's
remember
why I'm
the
saying.
Marvel reveals, and I saw the comic. No, not the comic. Wait, was it
Yeah.
Comic Con? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all that, and hey, they were
Well,
getting
with
that
Comic Con, they were
reaction.
excited was the Infinity War trailer. You know.
Yeah.
That's for-
But like they said, I
No,
mean, they're both
obviously.
Thor and
Yeah.
then the Infinity War.
what I'm
It's
trying to
just the
say
buzz
is that
there.
You would think that Justice League would have way more. Okay, maybe let's say it has more, but it's not like like a big difference.
No, like I said, because they don't trust it right
exactly.
now.
That's
the thing.
problem. Is nobody
No,
knows
but
that
that's what I'm saying. If they would have took their time and made a perfect cinematic universe, all the hype would have been in the DC films.
Yeah,
but they
that's
didn't.
But that's like a big if, because we still don't
No,
know.
well, they didn't. There's not if, but, or what. It already happened. They didn't. They
And
rushed it.
You know what they need to do? They need Flash to do the Flashpoint and just revert everything.
Well, they
I
could
feel
do
I
that.
feel like one of the big things though with Marvel is that they're family friendly. You know, they're gonna take
That's
their
the
kids to
thing.
watch it and everything. It's just that they had to have that Disney effect. So
They have the Disney budget.
yeah. So even if they do have great DC movies, you know, that people are gonna love, there's Marvel's still gonna have that.
No, they're gonna have people go. I'm
Colorful.
not saying if DC didn't have had a good universe, nobody was gonna go watch Marvel. But I'm just saying the hype would have been higher in DC, just by the characters and prestige they got. Because there's no Marvel character that could compete with DC characters. Only Spider-Man.
I mean,
Like-
we've had all these Supermans and all these Batmans too.
Yeah, but that's the thing. How to call it?
They
The
didn't
thing
do it
is
right.
that DC rushed it. Now nobody trusts their films, and people were like, "Are they gonna blow it?" And they don't trust Zack Snyder.
That's a DC fan. Like I want.
Yeah, they don't trust Zack Snyder, and you know what I mean.
I mean, he did great in Watchmen. I loved Watchmen.
Yeah,
And
I mean, I like the trilogy of Batman, The Dark Knight.
yeah,
You know, Christopher Nolan.
yep.
The only thing I'm just interested is I want to see how DC takes it after Justice League, because
Well,
if you think about it, they went the opposite way from Marvel. Marvel took their time with solo films and then
Mhm.
created the Avengers. We're just straight up getting the Justice League right away, and then we're
Yeah.
getting solo films for each character. So for me, like we already saw how Wonder Woman worked. There was like let's take it to the past,
mm-hmm.
and let's give her an origin story, and that was perfectly fine. I love the way that was done.
Yeah,
But is that what they're gonna do for every other movie? Like, is Aquaman gonna get his origin story and this and that? And
Well,
for me, I feel like it's just gonna.
I don't think he could get an origin story after
I-
he comes out of
so-
Justice League. You
that's
know
what
what I
I'm
mean?
saying. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is what is gonna be their approach? Because now they're already in the Justice League. You know, so are they just gonna pretty much are their movies gonna start from the events of Justice League on?
I believe
Or
that's
are they
the only
gonna,
way they
like-
could go.
Or are they gonna do like a flashback, like present flashback type of method where like it just
See, the only
jumps
ones
back?
that will be able to do an origin story is the Green Lanterns or Shazam.
like for me, I feel like they shouldn't do origin stories. I feel like
Like if that was the case, that's the only characters they could do an origin story for because they're not part of the Justice League at the moment.
at the moment, right?
So it will only be the Green Lanterns or Shazam.
So
Or
I'm
Captain Marvel,
curious
whatever you
to
wanna
see
call
how
it.
they go about it, and hopefully, I want them to do great. Honestly, one because I'm a big fan of DC,
Yeah.
and I kind of want something new, you know,
Yeah.
something more like, I guess, dark. And Marvel's not gonna give me that, and that's perfectly fine. I'm still gonna watch Marvel.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'm
watch
still
it too,
gonna
no
see
matter
their
what.
movies
You
and
know,
everything.
I'm still gonna
I'm
go.
stoked for Infinity, and I'm stoked for.
I'm just hoping
Thor.
Justice League steps up there.
I-
I
I
mean,
just
DC steps up their game. 'Cause I
Yeah.
want to enjoy a good film
I
from
d-
them.
you know,
Isn't the Aquaman movie coming out next year?
Shit. Is it-
19 or 18, one of those two.
Mm.
But then the other thing is with DC, you don't even know what the movies are because the Batman movie's still up in the air,
Yeah.
and then you have the Flash movie. They can't even find a director, I
Director.
believe. Same with with Batman. I think they're throwing scripts left and right, and they're like Deathstroke might not even be the villain, which is a big bummer because that's
Oh,
one of
love
my biggest,
Deathstroke. I love
villains, Deathstroke.
I love Deathstroke.
you know. So he might not even.
The
be
thing
in
is
it.
that, like I said, it's a Batman film. That comes with a lot of pressure after the, Christopher Nolan thing.
Mhm.
The pressure is there. These are not like, oh, whatever. If you messed up,
no, and they
well,
should take it like that. They should.
you
be
can't
like,
mess up.
Like we don't want to fuck up.
Because, like I
because-
said, these characters carry so much of a fan base that if you mess up a little, they're gonna be on you like.
No, you really are. They really are. I mean, look at the Joker. You just give him a
Oh,
tattoo
yeah.
on the forehead, and then
People
you. Honestly, I hate that Joker. No disrespect to Jared Leto. Wait, no, was
Yeah,
it? Is it?
Jared
Yeah.
Leto.
And but I hate that Joker. I hate the look. I don't like that.
The laugh is
The
fucking
laugh.
annoying.
I don't know. I
See-
don't like him. But that's the Joker in this series, and we'll see what he does in the.
Well,
if he even
it
shows
shows
up.
up as the Joker. That's if he's gonna be the Joker.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's even if he shows up. Cause what's the other movie with Harley Quinn and
Oh, the Gotham City Sirens.
Gotham City Sirens.
Well, I think the Harley Quinn was perfect.
Oh,
I
no,
think the
right.
perfect.
Yeah,
for
no,
Harley
that was great casting.
Yeah.
You
It
know,
just-
Deadshot, I mean,
I was surprised by Will Smith. I think he did a good Deadshot.
yeah. Even though
Yeah.
he's white in the comics, but hey,
Yeah.
hey, I'm not gonna like,
Well, yeah,
we need some
There was no eye cry over that.
some.
diversity.
That's what it is. I hope DC does well. Marvel just keeps doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
We're about to go into phase 3 of Marvel, and it's crazy to
The
think.
thing is, I don't know. The only thing that scares me about Marvel is the Infinity War, because they haven't shown me they could
No,
portray a
for
good
inf-
villain.
No, if this is you,
That's what I'm saying. I hope they didn't do all this just to mess up.
not even that. The pressure to release Infinity War has to be the best Marvel movie. out of all.
Yeah.
It has to be. There's no because if you think about it, 10 years
just
of
to
building this thing up,
just to have the
10
best films be
years.
the Captain America ones.
and for it to become a Batman versus Superman, that's
Dude,
that'll be your biggest
the
disappointment.
thing is, I don't know how they're gonna do it though.
Well, we have to wait and see because
'Cause-
they have to do it somehow. Like, there's no, let's just do what kind of movie people are gonna know. Like, we've waited for true fans and like for those that really love Marvel, it's been 10 years in the making for
Yeah.
this movie.
Well,
So
if you think about it, if you read the Infinity Gauntlet or you've seen the videos of it, people just talking about it, the power that Gauntlet has. How the hell are you gonna do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, what Marvel did, what I like, is he put a little scapegoat right there, and he mentioned a character that could trump the the Infinity Gauntlet no matter what, and that's called the Living Tribunal. And they mentioned him in Doctor Strange. With him, that's the only way I can see they could defeat Thanos.
Because obviously in the comic books there was like
Yeah,
Alex
Warlock,
Warlock. I
Adam
would say
Warlock.
Warlord. I don't know why.
Adam Warlock. Well, he was
Warlock.
mentioned.
Adam.
He's in the Guardians
Right,
of the Galaxy.
but I
Guardians
heard that he
2.
wasn't gonna be.
Yeah,
in the
which is
movies,
kind of the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
which he was a
Because
big
him and
part
Thanos
of.
are like,
Yeah,
they're unseparable. You know what I mean?
he was one of the biggest.
Mhm.
When
characters
when
in-
Thanos there, Adam Warlock's around the corner. Everything Thanos does big, Adam Warlock's always there. Like, how the hell can you not put him there?
You guys think Iron Man's gonna take the win?
I'll be so pissed if he fucking takes a win. I'll be so mad. I'll just walk out of them theater.
No, I don't think so.
Alrighty, let's change it up a little.
Come on, DC.
Let's talk about school. And we are
Kiss
being
Space
accompanied
Nightmare.
by 2 graduates.
Where,
one
though?
from Cal State Long Beach and the other from Cal State
Compton. Compton, baby.
Compton. Cal State
Nah.
Compton.
Home of
Also
Galaxy.
No, that's Dominguez Hills.
Dominguez Hills. Hey, I'm going to Dominguez Hills, so I shouldn't be
Is
really making fun
Dominguez
of.
Hills?
Well, you made fun of it for a
Let's
long ass period of time, and then you ended up at Dominguez Hills.
Well, it's the only school that has my program, pretty much, actually. Anyways,
Kind of funny, huh?
we're
How
gonna
that works out.
we're gonna give you guys some tips because we got a lot of them.
Tips. First of all, Gus, we know you're going to first year at Dominguez.
Technically, this is for
What
me
do you
because
think?
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
It's my first.
How do you
year.
feel?
How do I feel?
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was first applying for schools, it was like whatever. I'm applying to them, and I'm like, I know I can't go to this one. I know I can't go to this one. This one doesn't have my program, whatnot. So the ultimate, not like
Program
the
or major?
only choice I really had was Cal State Dominguez Hills.
Only that makes it sound, makes it it makes
the
it sound
only.
bad, right? Like only.
No,
the
but
first
see,
I
that's
had
what I was. That
Dominguez.
was my mentality at the time, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll go to this school and whatnot. Anyways, so as the summer started, and the days came by, and I started going to my first orientation, and I started actually kind of like going through the process and going to the actual school and seeing the people. I was like,
It's you, huh?
I was kind of like actually getting excited about it. I'm more like, oh shoot, like I'm actually, like.
All giggity.
Yeah, no, it felt good, like being
Remember
at the
those?
school
Do you
and
still remember those 3 years of criticism of Dominguez? You criticizing it every single day.
hey, I wouldn't criticize Dominguez. I would just make fun of it because
Exactly.
because of the Cal State Compton. That was the
Uh.
only thing I would say.
Nah. You
I-
always saying that UC Davis or Fullerton or Long Beach, but then
No,
I'm
I never was
Dominguez.
interested in going to Long Beach and
Yeah.
Fullerton. No, nothing against the schools. It's just the
Ravers.
program
You didn't wanna be a
I wanted to
dirtbag?
go. I want to get into television arts. I know Fullerton has a program.
That's everywhere, man.
And Dominguez, but
Damn.
I chose to go to Dominguez, and
You chose because you only qualify for Dominguez.
'cause they're the only school I applied for, pretty much. Which
Sorry,
brings it
Dominguez, I
back
love you.
to all right.
You,
and
Toros?
you rejected Berkeley because they didn't have a
Berkeley
program.
wasn't good enough for me. I was like, you know what, Berkeley, you're not good
They
yet.
don't have my program.
UCLA, I was like, nah. UCI, I was like, too many. I know too many people here. I don't want to go there. USC was begging me to go, but I said no.
Calm down,
No,
superstar.
Let's talk about a little bit of a tip for me, honestly. And this is everyone tells you this. Everybody will, you're gonna hear this a lot, and you don't. I guess sometimes you just don't really take it in. You're just kind of like, whatever. I know what I'm doing. But the biggest one and the most cliche one that anyone could say is to just do your work.
Stay
And
persistent.
not
Get
just
ahead of
do
your
your
work,
work, but try. Like literally try hard and take it serious. That was honestly my biggest mistake. Like you said, the only reason I qualified at Dominguez Hills, and at the time I saw it as a defeat. I honestly saw it as just only going to Dominguez Hills as a defeat because I was like, if I were to try it harder and if I was to, really, really try, I could have applied and I could have made it to bigger. I quote bigger
Mhm.
because that was the mentality I had. Bigger as in
Yeah.
like more popular, more expensive schools.
Well-known schools.
Yeah, well-known schools like Long Beach, UCI. Like that's what I was thinking at the time. I'm like, I should have tried hard. I should have not slacked off and everything, and I should have just done it. So when I only got applied when I only applied for I applied for Fullerton, and I applied for Dominguez Hills, and Fullerton rejected me, which I knew was gonna reject me
Vicious.
because I had a very low GPA. Applying, I knew
That
I applied to
GPA.
Fullerton because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna apply, and if I get in, I get in. If not, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got rejected, I felt kind of like I got rejected by Fullerton.
Yeah.
But I knew I wasn't competitive. Even I knew that I wasn't. But I put myself in a situation where either I stay at community college for another year, try to bring up my GPA, and possibly get in to Fullerton, or do I just go to Dominguez Hills, who had already accepted me, and start
Just
my
go.
Yeah, I
my-
remember
my-
we would talk about this. You would say like, I'm still debating whether to stay at Golden West, bring
Yeah.
up your GPA, and you already had the chance to go to Dominguez. Just get the ball rolling.
So
Yeah.
honestly, if I was to give a tip, and it comes from experiences, just work hard and honestly don't slack off. Like don't, because you're gonna regret being in a situation where you're gonna keep telling you what if I did this, if I did that, if I tried harder, I if I passed this class and if I didn't. These ifs are gonna kill you. Just
Yeah.
do it. I get it. You want to have fun and this, but this mostly goes into
you
like
can have
incoming
fun.
freshmen. You can, but you have to balance it. And this mostly goes to incoming freshmen because, they come in with that high school mentality. They don't know, like really what college is, whether you're going to community or whether you're going to university or Cal State, whatever. It's all the same. It's a different experience. Sometimes the friends you had in high school, they're not gonna be there in college.
No, because a
So,
lot
I
of
mean,
them can't.
but I feel like that also depends, because there's a lot of people that go into college at freshman year and they're just work, and I mean it's important, but
No,
it's
you
more than
gotta
just
balance
work,
it.
work.
Like I say, you need to balance
Yeah.
it. Join a club. I think maybe two of us out of the three, I don't know, could recommend that you join a
Yeah.
club. Join a club, make friends.
Well, I
And
say
be
join
active.
a club, but just be responsible.
But that's the
Yeah.
other one.
You
Be
know what I mean?
responsible. I
Do
made the
you-
mistake.
Do your work first and then worry
Yeah.
about the club.
I made the mistake of prioritizing social life, the club, and this and that. And in the end, even though I made great friends and I made good memories, I damaged myself and I put myself in a situation where, like I said, I was only able to apply to two schools and I ended up getting rejected by a school that a lot of people can get into. I put myself in that position,
Yeah.
and at the time it sucked. I was like, shoot, Dominguez Sales. Crap, Dominguez Sales. Who knows Dominguez
know.
Sales? Like
I've been around
that
all
was
that
my
all the
mentality.
time. Like, oh,
But
Dominguez
honestly,
sells
I
this,
can
oh,
say
Dominguez
that
sells that.
Fool, I'm talking. I can say that over the summers, I went to the school and I started to get to know the campus. I honestly, my opinion is very different. And I start school on Monday, and I'm very excited to
Monday.
start school because it's like I'm starting my
Monday.
I guess my
Journey.
career, my journey. It's like it's
You're not
it's
starting. It's more like continuing. Because
Yeah.
I mean,
Continuing.
the
Continuing.
first years you had at Golden West, I mean, sure you said you didn't do good, but you learned.
yeah.
You learned from your mistakes.
Did he?
You knew.
Did he?
Well,
I
we'll
feel-
see.
I
I
feel
feel
like
like I
we'll
learned.
see. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, this is the thing.
But I mean, that's where he comes where he says he's not gonna
No.
slack off and take it. For
I
granted,
was working full time
for 1 year.
for 1 year, and
But you
I
didn't go to
wanted
school that year,
I
right?
wanted to go to school and I wanted to keep my job. I talked with my counselor and they told me that if I wanted to pursue that path, that I would be at Golden West maybe 2 to 3 years because I had to take night classes, and a lot of the classes that I needed were not offered at night. So I would either have to find another school or I would have to, I don't know, figure something out. So what I did, I made the decision to leave my job and try to finish in 1 year. And because I tried hard and I pursued it, I did. Quitting my job in a way paid off because I did finish my last year at community, and now I can honestly say that I start my path towards my career, like actually taking courses that are for my career.
Yeah.
So I honestly feel like I learned a lot. I feel like I have what it takes to actually try hard. I just have to not fall into bad habits of making friends and joining clubs and just putting that first, Okay, let me rephrase that. It's not a bad habit to make friends. Make as many friends as you can.
Yeah.
Just balance it. Let's say there's an event going on, but you
Yeah.
need to finish this project. Finish the project.
Yeah, schoolwork
don't put
first.
it
Remember,
last.
you're there
Balance is key.
for work, for school.
Yeah. So honestly, that's my tip. My experience right there is just don't slack off. Join a club, make friends, but also know when to say yes and no to social events
Yeah.
and prioritize your homework because you don't want to be in that position where you wish you had done differently. Regrets, man. Regrets are killer. Ifs are horrible things to keep telling yourself, and they just poison your mind, and they put you in like in a hole where you don't see the positive in what you have accomplished because you keep thinking of what you didn't, and that's not good. You need to think about what you have accomplished and move forward. So that's my tip. And I don't know if you guys
Well,
have
that's
any
more of an
other
experience than a tip.
experience. Well, it's experience,
mean,
but it's
it's
also
experience.
a tip because
No, but the thing,
You know?
like, for me, what I could give you as advice is, stay ahead of your work. If you know what you're going to do, just do it ahead of time. 'Cause that's what I did in Dominguez. And it gave me time to go free, hang out with my friends and all that. Just get ahead in your work if you can, Don't wait until the last minute or last moments to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Just stay on top of your work. Everything comes fast. You got projects, exams, everything. But another thing is just get involved, you know? Like you
Yeah.
said, you know, you do have balance is key, but grades do go a long way. But sometimes, like when you said, you know, you're trying to get a job right after you graduate,
Yeah.
they're not going to just look at your grades. They want to see what projects have you done, what have you worked on. You know, if you're involved with the club, you know, they have an event or something. That's going to look nice on your resume.
I know this is gonna sound bad, but the diploma doesn't guarantee you a job. So
True.
I know that for a fact. But yeah, like you said, you gotta be involved. You know, you have to do your projects and all that to show some work that you've done. You know.
Yeah. And a lot, I mean, in your career, probably you're going to be involved in a lot of projects. Not just because of clubs, but in
Like
your
even in classes, like once you do your work in your classes, save them. You know, save those projects. Keep
Yeah.
'em saved on your computer
in your portfolio.
portfolio. Make something out of them. Like for
Something,
me
yeah.
personally, I wrote for the school's newspaper, and I have every single article I wrote.
Mhm.
I have it saved.
Apply
Mhm.
for internships, you know? Even
Yeah.
if you don't get them, just apply. I've had a few internships.
Like I have my internship work. It's online. You could check it out. gsbookings.com.
Yeah,
That
for
plug,
me,
though.
for me, the goal is to network and try to, when I graduate, try to have a job in the field or maybe at least a foot in. So that's my goal.
Yeah,
and
everybody hopes for that, you know. But
We'll
sometimes
see.
it doesn't plan out like that,
That's why you gotta prepare. You know.
you know.
Yeah, you
Just-
just got to
But you gotta look at your options, all your options. Like there could be other ways to get into that field, you know.
I
Like,
like-
it doesn't have to be directly
They-
that.
Like they told us, yeah, I mean, you know, you get a job. Maybe it's not necessarily in the career, the degree you got, but you get a job in the field and it's just
Yeah,
eventually work to where you want to be. Or maybe you find a passion somewhere else.
yeah,
It's
True.
You know,
life.
it is.
We're still
it
young. We
happens.
still got stuff to work on, but,
Yeah,
you know, we've
but stay
There's
ahead
some
of your work.
things-
Trust me.
Yeah.
Even though, like, damn, I have all this time to do the work. No, once he gave you the project, start working on it.
yeah.
Essay or anything, because eventually the other classes are gonna give you work too, and they're gonna start jumping, like it's gonna start piling on each other, and then you're gonna be overwhelmed. Like get one out of the way as soon as possible, then do the next one and the next one, because they're gonna start piling up and you're
Yep.
gonna feel overwhelmed.
Late nights are going to be
Yeah,
inevitable.
I know. Even I stayed up those late nights until like 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. When I
So,
had,
mean, but here's the thing, too. You know, you say stay on top of your things, and
it's easy to not do that. You know what I mean?
Procrastination is.
Yeah, but you know.
Just got to stay on top.
That's what I did all my time in Dominguez. I just stayed ahead of my work. I used to do it 3 weeks before it was due.
Yeah.
I would have been done so I had 2 weeks to revise my work, check it out,
Mm.
check my mistakes, my grammar, anything like that.
They give you enough time. It's just
Yeah.
up to you whether you put the time or not.
That's the thing, 'cause some people, when time there, they wait until the last weeks,
Yeah.
and then they're overwhelmed. They don't know what to
Days.
do, 'cause when they start giving you those scholarly papers and all that, man. So just to find that research all those facts and all that, it's hard.
Yeah. A few weeks from now, though, we're gonna be talking. He's like, "Damn, I got a paper due tomorrow." It's like 5
Yeah,
pages. I
like
can
for me,
start.
for me personally, I had a paper due my first week. It's easy to drowse off, man. To be honest, just not to focus to your work until the last moments.
Gotta
It's easy to do that. The hard thing is getting on top of your work.
stay on top of your work, and also, you need to watch your eating, though.
Watch your eating, dude. Trust me, I gained so much weight since I joined college.
Yeah.
It's so easy to just go outside instead of going home, getting a good meal, exercising.
How long are your breaks gonna be at school? Huh?
7 hours.
Really? Damn.
And it says, oh, should I stay at school or something? Bitch, come home, fool. What the hell you gonna stay over there for? Enjoy your elementary years, middle school years, a little bit high school years, because when it comes to those college years, they're not enjoyable.
No, I mean, we graduate. I still miss college, though.
I
mean,
miss
don't
college.
the work, I
Yeah,
don't miss
exactly.
exams, but
I miss college too, except for the work.